Happy Friday, everyone! Oh my goodness, I am so excited to talk about this anime. This one's been on my mind for some time, and I thought I would give this anime a proper review. The show I am referring to is Blue Lock. You heard me right. I genuinely love this anime for a multitude of reasons, and this one has stuck with me the most. I haven't seen any other sports anime other than Baki, not the old one, but the Netflix version. And that one was interesting. This one, my second sports anime, I wanted it to be interesting. And this one absolutely exceeded my expectations. It was entertaining, and there were so many twists and turns that kept me on the edge of my seat. Like, oh my goodness, what is going to happen next? I was on a binge watch of this anime for 2 days straight. I'm not kidding. And this is the first anime that made me want to rewatch. And I think I rewatched it at least 5 times. Because that's how good this is, honestly. I'm really happy I discovered this anime, and it's just such a joy, honestly. I am definitely going to spoil a lot in here, and I don't want to ruin it for those that haven't seen it. I implore you to watch this anime before coming here. But if you want to find out what it's about, be my guest. So what is this series about? Basically, after a devastating loss in 2018 at the World Cup, the Japan team struggles to regroup. What are they missing? An ace striker that has a hunger for scoring goals and a thirst for victory. The Japan Football Union is dead set on creating the perfect striker, and to do that, they randomly selected 300 random high school boys to participate in a program at a facility called Blue Lock, where only one of them can become the best striker in the world. Honestly, this dry synopsis can't even begin to describe how good this show is. It's one of those ones where you have to see it to believe it. One of the things I love about this anime are the characters. It is almost an entirely male cast, but there is one female in here, but she works for the Japan Football Union. I do wish she was a little bit more prevalent, but the focus is on the soccer players, so I can see why they did that. The characters, some of them have in-depth backstories that really got to me. Take, for example, the main protagonist. His name is Yuichi Isagi. He's 17 years old, and he absolutely adores soccer. When he was a child, he would watch soccer matches on TV, and for Christmas, he wanted Santa to bring him the World Cup, which I thought was super adorable. At his school, his team, the Ichinan team, was trying to make it to nationals. And Isagi's dream was going to nationals and winning the World Cup. He was dead set on it, and he was so close, but a fatal mistake costed him his dreams. He was absolutely crushed. And he was absolutely heartbroken. There's also another reason why he wanted to be the best. He admires a striker named Noel Noah, and he wants to be exactly like him. Later, he receives a letter from the Japan Football Union, and he is invited to participate in Blue Lock. Not only will he train to be the very best, but also finally fulfill his dream. So when Jinpachi Ego gave the big speech on how Blue Lock will unlock your inner egoist and help you achieve what you want, Isagi just mad dashed through the entire crowd and finally accepts Blue Lock. I do like the personality of this character. At first, he's happy, outgoing, and then halfway through, he turns into a darker person. It's like when a professional wrestler starts out as a face and then turns into a heel. The best example I can think of is in the very first episode, Isagi was supposed to participate in a game of tag, and he was trying to hit someone within 90 seconds, and if he can't do that, then he is out of Blue Lock. So when Igaguri passed, and by pass I mean hit Isagi in the stomach with the soccer ball, he was it, and he didn't know who to hit next. And then Bachida gave Isagi an opportunity to hit Kunigami, but Kunigami threw Bachida at Igaguri, and he has a sprained ankle. Isagi was about to take the chance and get revenge at Igaguri for hitting him with the soccer ball and making him it. And also, Igaguri was a lower ranked player than Isagi. But Isagi decided, no, I want to go after the best players. So he focused his attention from Igaguri to Bachida. And Bachida was genuinely surprised. So Bachida stole the ball from Isagi and was going after another player named Ryosuke Kira. And Kira was actually on the opposite team of Isagi, and he was able to go to nationals. So when Bachida passed the ball back to Isagi, Kira thought he was in the clear, but Isagi was in some kind of trance that allowed him to hit Kira right in the face, and it costed Kira his dreams of going to nationals. I was so shocked when this happened. I was not expecting it. I did feel bad for Kira at first, but Isagi is able to stay and train to be the best in the world, so sorry Kira, but you kind of deserved it. You did cost Isagi his dreams. Also, another example, there's this character named Baro. He is the so-called king of soccer, and he thinks everyone around him is peasants. He calls Isagi a donkey sometimes, but in one episode where Nagi and Isagi were making passes to each other and they weren't passing to Baro because he was so stubborn, Isagi decided to stick his foot up his mouth and called Baro a donkey instead. I was like, dang, he is savage. I love how Isagi is not afraid to be a badass, but also he's kind of humble as well. He's one of my favorite characters for sure. Another character I really like is Bachida. At first, he was a little bit creepy, but I kind of grew on this character because his backstory was actually really sad. No one wanted to play soccer with him when he was a child, and everyone kept calling him weird. Bachida kind of grew up with a monster inside him, and he and the monster started playing soccer together. Bachida didn't need anybody else besides the monster. And when Bachida arrived at Blue Lock, he wanted someone to play soccer with him, and that's when he met Isagi and another person named Rin Itoshi, which I'll explain later. When Isagi and Bachira first played, Bachira explained to Isagi that when you were about to, the monsters told me to pass it to you. He's always following the monster's advice and not really listening to himself. When Rin and Isagi were surpassing Bachira, he felt behind, and that was honestly really upsetting because Bachira was looking for people to play with him, and now he's afraid that he'll be all alone. But then he realized the monster was holding him back. So in episode 23, the monster finally left Bachira, and Bachira was able to score goals on his own. It was such a drastic turn for this character that was honestly impactful. And again, his personality is a little childlike and creepy, but I like Bachira, and I really hope that he is going to be more prevalent in the next season. Another character I also admire is Kunigami Rensuke. Kunigami is amazing. He does look like Bakugo, but he has much more of a warmer, friendlier personality. The reason he became a striker was because he wanted to be a superhero. He didn't look up to fantasy characters. He looked up to strikers, and he wanted to be exactly like them. So he and Isagi kind of have that in common. Kunigami's strength is unreal. I actually forgot to mention this, but Bachira's weapon, dribbling, was incredible. He makes the players so confused with his dribbling technique. It was amazing. And then Kunigami's weapon was his shooting style. It was honestly incredible. If he can get within 27 meters, somewhere in 20 meters, he's able to shoot a goal really easily. That was impressive, honestly. Again, his strength is unreal. I was honestly devastated when he didn't pass the second selection. Like, are you kidding me? I really thought he was going to pass. Instead, this dark skin, blonde hair, pink tipped Shido surpassed Kunigami? Are you kidding me? My heart literally broke because I love Kunigami, both his personality and his strength. It was just devastating that he didn't pass. I really hope he comes back in season 2 because I genuinely like this character. I want to see more of him. And I still hope he's the same loving person that he is. I also like this other character, Hyoma Chigiri. His backstory is actually quite upsetting. He was always known as kind of a genius, both in academics and on the field. When his legs were running at full speed, there was nothing that could stop him. However, during one game, he tore his ACL on his right leg, and it was dangerous because if he injured it again, then it's over for him. He actually came to Blue Lock to find a reason to quit soccer, but after seeing Isagi on the field, he was inspired to keep going. And his stamina and speed is like a cheetah on steroids. That one episode where he was able to go really fast and score a goal at the very last second for Team Z was unreal. My jaw dropped to the floor. It was amazing. I also love the dry, sarcastic tone that Chigiri has, and he's often called a princess because he spends a lot of time in self-care, especially on his hair, which is kind of funny. I adore this character. I really do. He's in my top 5 for a reason. I mentioned this character, Rin Itoshi. I wasn't a big fan of him at first because he kind of had that gloomy attitude, but he's a very powerful player. Literally, I wasn't expecting him to shoot a goal halfway through the halfway line. I was like, are you kidding me right now? And the fact that he's able to outsmart Isagi was insane. My heart was just beating out of my chest as to what was going to happen next. I don't know too much about Rin's backstory, but the main reason he wanted to play soccer was to surpass his older brother, which was honestly pretty classic to me, sibling rivalry perspective, you know? His older brother is Sai Itoshi, who plays for Japan. Like I said, Rin is not really a friendly guy, but he is a very powerful player in my opinion. Absolutely fantastic. So I found an article on Crunchyroll and I found the list of the people who are going to be voicing which character. I am so glad that Rico Ferrato is coming back to voice Yoichi Isagi. Honestly, I can't think of anyone better to voice this character than him. He is incredible. I love the passion and energy he gives to his performance, and it's incredible the way he plays these energetic characters. From Mirio in My Hero Academia to Zane in The Duke of Death and His Maid, he absolutely nails the comedic aspect. I actually want to meet Mr. Ferrato so badly because I actually drew a picture of Isagi and I want to give it to him. It's definitely one of the best drawings I've ever done. Hands down. The first time I heard his voice acting was actually in Tomo-chan as a Girl. He voiced Junichu, and he was amazing. He gives such a warm, brotherly vibe to June, and it was so good. So, Mr. Ferrato, I'm super excited. Drew Breedlove also comes back to voice Bachira, and I'm really curious to see how he's going to pull off this character again. I think he does a fantastic job giving Bachira a friendly, childlike portrayal, but also making this character serious too. You can see a lot of emotion in this character, and Drew Breedlove gives a perfect tone to this character. Aaron Dismuke also is coming back to voice Chigiri, which I am beyond excited for. I love this man and his voice acting. I love the comedy he brings to his character sometimes with his tone of voice. It's hilarious, honestly. Not only was he great here, but he's also great in Dr. Stone, where he voiced Senku Ishigami. And fun fact, Rico Ferrato is also in that anime, and he voices Taiju. I love the friendly bond those two have. Matt Shipman is also coming back to voice Rin Itoshi, and like I mentioned before, I'm so used to hearing him in comedic, friendlier roles, so it's kind of funny to me he's voicing a serious character like Rin. He was also in Attack on Titan where he voiced Flock. Not my favorite character, but he did a great job voicing Flock. Honestly, there are a lot of familiar voice actors that are going to be coming, but I'm also excited because Jonas Scott is going to be voicing Aiku from season 2, episode 1. And Clifford Chapman is coming back to voice Kazuru Tabito. He had a small role in Blue Lock episode 24, but now he's a much prevalent role in the second season. I love this man and his voice acting. It is just so good. He's voiced Bakugo, he has voiced Ryusui in Dr. Stone. He's voiced a lot of great characters, honestly. It just blows my mind. I think this dub cast is going to be incredible for season 2. I am looking forward to that. Another thing that I love about Blue Lock is its comedy. Yes, it's a sports, action, drama anime, but there is comedy that really excels the anime in general because, yes, it's supposed to be serious, but it's not afraid to get lighthearted too, which I really admire. There are so many scenes where I was laughing my butt off, especially this one scene where Isagi, Bachira, Ikiguri, and Gagamaru were playing the Wanima brothers face game, and then Iman was yelling at them like, "Stop fooling around, you guys, and focus on the match!" And then Bachira was looking at him like, "Oh, I know, that's a seriously pissed off face." The tone of this character and the way he said it just made me laugh so much. I replayed that part so many times. Another funny scene that I really like is this one additional time where Bado kind of dresses up as a maid and Isagi and Nagi were having like a dream about it, and then the real Bado was yelling at them like, "Whatever you two idiots are thinking about it, stop it!" And then Nagi came up with the swearing maid cafe idea. And I was laughing so hard at that scene because Bara was just yelling at them and pouring ketchup on their heads. I was laughing so hard at that scene. It was hilarious. Like I said, there are a lot of comedic moments that come from the additional time, but if you can catch it in the line of dialogue, I swear you will be laughing so hard. If you catch it in the dialogue, you will find the comedic parts in there. I swear, this show made me laugh so much. There are a lot of genuine emotional moments in this anime that really stuck with me. And I think the main theme of this anime is determination. If you work hard, you can get what you want. You don't need to rely on anybody else to do it. That's the thing with Isagi. He's always having to rely on other people to help him make shots or something like that. And he's trying to learn how to score goals on his own. But his talent, his weapon doesn't really work, you know? I actually want to discuss this a little bit. Do you think Blue Lock is a shonen anime? I think it is, technically, because the main protagonist is a 17-year-old kid. Yes, Izuku Midoriya is 14, and then CL Phantom Hive is 13, which I think is the youngest protagonist we've ever had. But Isagi is a teenager, so technically he counts as a shonen, right? I think it does. I think it counts, honestly. And also, Isagi goes to the best program to train and become the best striker in the world. Just like with Izuku Midoriya when he goes to UA, one of the most prestigious hero academies. And same thing with Iruma when he goes to the best demon school. So there are a lot of shonen aspects that make this kind of a shonen anime. Even though the genres doesn't say it's a shonen, I think it is. And also, Isagi's abilities are not really prevalent in the first few episodes. As the series continues, you see the growth that Isagi has developed in Blue Lock. Even though he says he's not seeing results, you can see it for yourself. I think this anime is a shonen for sure, but if you don't think it is, then let me know. Also, I keep seeing comments on Instagram saying that Blue Lock's animation is mid, that it's really bad. Honestly, I don't really care about the animation that much. Also, I made a mistake. I said in my Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun video that Bandai Namco was the one that created this anime. I was wrong. Bandai Namco created that anime, but Bandai Namco produced Blue Lock. 8-Bit was the one that created Blue Lock, so I apologize for the confusion on that, on my part. I think 8-Bit's studio had some great ideas for the animation, but the results were mixed, in my opinion. I think the animation, it's not great, but it's not bad either. I think the best animation that they've done probably was the puzzle piece animation, because Isagi's constantly having to deconstruct and piece himself back together to think about what does he need to do to score goals on his own, or what does he need to do to surpass this player, that kind of thing. I think the puzzle piece style animation was great. I liked it. But there was the one animation scene I was not a fan of. So in one episode where Isagi met with Chigiri, he was explaining to Isagi that the way that you view the field, you're like a god looking down from above. Because the way that animation was like a digitally captured moment of a digital image of Isagi was kind of looming over the field, looking down at everyone. I like the idea, I just think that it's mid. Also, apparently they used a PowerPoint transition in the second season. Yes, I saw that. Is it cheating? Yes. But is it intentional? No, I don't think it was. I just hate how people are putting down this anime because of its animation. Like, let us watch it, please. I hated how people are just fueling the fire when it comes to negative comments. Like, okay, it's not bad, but it's not bad, but it's not great either. I wish they had not done that, but it just pisses me off that people are just putting down this anime because of the animation. Like, okay, Blue Lock is more than just its animation, okay? There's the characters, there's the entertainment, there's the plot. There are more aspects to this anime that you need to overlook besides the animation, okay? You need to look at those, not the animation itself. It just pisses me off. Honestly, because I like this anime, okay? I do. I will defend this one with my heart because I think this is a great sports anime. And I don't know anything about soccer, but the way they created this is perfect for those that are new to soccer like me, or for those that do like soccer and want a good kick out of it. I just don't want this anime to get hate. But honestly, no matter what anime you watch, there's always going to be hate. This one, honestly, I just don't like it that it's having too much hate. I even saw one post where they say that the 7 Deadly Sins animation is just as bad as this. Don't you dare compare another anime to Blue Lock, okay? Don't you dare. It just annoys me to no end. I just don't want people to keep fueling the fire. That's all it is. So what do you guys think of Blue Lock? If you have seen it, please let me know. What do you think about it? And I really hope you enjoy this little anime review. Please stay tuned and look forward for more. Thank you so much for watching. Love you all.